hello. Hi. So, hope everyone's doing well. So my last video on Madness Polygon was not retweeted, but the CEO of Madness posted it on their LinkedIn. And the only reason I know about this is because I do have a LinkedIn page for me, and I got a very rare notification because I don't use LinkedIn very often. I've only used it once to look into someone that I'm working with. Just to like do a little bit of internet sleuthing to say, oh, I should probably connect with them, I guess. I didn't do that, but anyways, so I get a notification on my phone that I'm not used to seeing, which is you have a LinkedIn connection request, and my thought at the time was, did LinkedIn get compromised again? Am I getting like a bot account? So then I open the page and I'm just like, oh, it's the CEO of Madness. So I got a connection with the CEO of Madness. Which, if you don't know, Madness is basically behind Madness Polygon, which I just did a video about, which is the motion capture solution that I'm currently using. So that's that, yeah. I tried to read, just to double check, I double checked reading through their terms of service, because I'm just like, it's free, right? It is free. There's no like policy about not using it for VTubing. Which I don't see why there would be, because it uses 0 of their network, right? But yeah, that's that. Also, some of you might have noticed there is a YouTube premiere that's going to be happening in 2.5 hours, which is when this stream will end, and we're going to raid my YouTube premiere, because that's the only thing that YouTube streamers can raid. They can't actually raid other streamers. You can only raid your own YouTube premieres or your own YouTube live streams. Wow. Yeah. Also, to address someone's comment earlier, I'm not sure if you're still here, about you were pressing F5 on my Twitch page. You're not allowed to dual stream Twitch. The only time you're allowed to dual stream Twitch is if you have no affiliate, if you're not affiliate and you're not partnered. If you dual stream, you're breaking their rules and you're subject to ban. So yeah, that's why this is not going to be on Twitch. I didn't time you out. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure that one of my moderators did it, and they did it for good reason. Hi, Smiley. Hello. Am I not signed into my mod account on OBS? I think so. I see. I see. I see. I see. VR chat? This isn't VR chat. This is, I mean, yes. This is VR chat. I'm totally logged into VR chat right now. This is VR chat. Don't hack me, please no hack. I'm definitely wearing a VR headset. Yes. Yeah, this is totally VR chat, completely. Oh, my desk. This is VR chat, everyone. This is VR chat. These are all features from VR chat. Yep. VR chat. We're in VR chat. Yeah, I stream on YouTube only once a week. VR chat Electric Boogaloo V2. Yeah, this is VR chat version 69. Unreal Engine, yeah, we're running Unreal Engine right now. So that's what this is. Unreal Engine. Wow. Unreal Engine. Also, but yeah, so I'm gonna be starting a new YouTube series. It's inspired by Blender Guru, and Blender Guru has recently reposted, like, they not reposted, but they've revamped their donut series because Blender 3.0 has come out. And I was just like, oh. And someone in my Patreon chat was talking about, like, they were saying, like, how, like, some people don't know how to use OBS. I'm like, I've done a video on OBS, but I realized I didn't title it well enough. And then that got me thinking, why don't I do, like, a 101 VTuber course? And depending on how well it does, basically, will be how detailed I go into it. So, like, right now, the initial plans for that 101 course is to start from the basics and then get to a point where you can live stream. If the series does well, then I'm going to continue it. But today, the first video is just going to be an introduction, so it's not going to, like, give any tutorials. Because basically what's the long plan of it is that it's going to be a playlist of videos, basically. How long is this live stream? 2.5 hours. Yep, he remade the donut tutorial. So isn't that cool? Also, I tried to do a quick fix to the physics because it was working for a brief period of time, then I changed to madness, and now it's not working at all. It's like a little broken, so I have to fix it. I think I have to, like, add a refresh tick in, I think, in the blueprint, maybe. Okay, let's go back to to standing, because I want to stand. But yeah. Basically, if you're new to my YouTube live streams, we basically do just chatting here. So currently my YouTube live streams are smaller than my Twitch live streams. So this is like a really great place to just hang out, chat, or if you have any specific questions to VTubing that can be answered live, I guess. And that would be like, this is how I'm kind of treating the live stream right now. Well, what I mean is that normally, like compared to Twitch, my live streams here are like a quarter of the size. But that's also because I don't stream as often on YouTube, nor do I like really promote my YouTube live streams at all. Yeah, that's a pretty TOS name. Just let's put you in a little corner. How about that? Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Would it be possible with a bunch of slime trackers? If slime trackers work the way they are supposed to, then yes. The answer is yes. Oh, also, what was I gonna talk about? I was gonna talk about something. I don't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. Well, like I said, I don't promote this live stream. The only place I promote my live stream is on Discord. And like, when was the last time you paid attention to a Discord notification? People come to my Twitch stream just because in my YouTube videos, that's what I promote. And on Twitter, that's also what I promote. But yeah, for body tracking, using a Slime VR tracker, if that's what, if it works the way it's supposed to, then the answer is yes. But like, I can't make super guarantees just because one, I haven't tried Slime VR myself, and two, it's not technically out yet. But from what I've seen, it looks like it would work no problem. Into OBC? What do you mean OBC? I'm gonna guess that you mean into OBS, and it's this, it's covered in my how to make your VTuber stream / YouTube video. I already have a video on it. If you scroll all the way down, it's one of my earlier videos where I'm like doing the YouTuber face. Same process. Just treat VR chat like a game and not a VTubing software. Oh yeah, that's my hip tracker, see? What? I don't see the point of using any Android solution because all Android solutions are inferior. So why would I use that? Okay, wait, hold on. Is this gonna solve the problem? Yes, it did. But yeah, why? Basically, put it this way, right? With VSeeFace's new update, what point is there for using Android? Just stop. VSeeFace had a new update where they added better webcam tracking, which would be on par or better than any Android solution that you can connect to VSeeFace. So essentially, you should just stop using whatever you're using and just use VSeeFace if you don't have an iPhone. Does the chair move? But like I said, why use an Android phone when you could just use VSeeFace and a webcam? It doesn't make sense. Oh, you know, by the way, yeah, I'm just gonna hide, instead of timing you out, I'm just gonna hide you, and then that should pretty much solve the problem. So let's do that. I have no idea why I'm not signed in on my OBS. But yeah, there we go. And the nice thing about being hidden in YouTube is you don't realize you've been hidden. What I kind of like super like about YouTube chat versus Twitch chat, one of the few things that I like is that you can shadow ban people and they won't even realize they've been shadow banned. Cause like you can type a message, it'll still show up and they're like, oh yeah, I can see, like they're definitely gonna see my comment and they don't realize that they've been shadow banned. Is it hard to run this program? It's as hard as you want it to be because it's an application that you're making yourself. So like right now on my computer, I only have Madness. If you want to see a tutorial on that setup, it's one of my latest videos at this moment in time. If you're watching this like as a VOD, it's weird that I have to like preface this. If you're watching this as a VOD, if you're watching this as a VOD, then it's gonna be my second. Oh, I don't know. You'll see. It's Magnus Polygon. But yeah, and after that, if you set it up in Unity or in Real Engine, it's totally on you, whether like how to optimize it. If my tutorial series goes well, then like the Vtuber 101 series, I'll probably put more effort into it basically. So as it's gonna be like a very basic how to get started with some stuff that would be like for more advanced streamers, I guess, like bigger streamers. But if it kind of does like the same as my other videos, then I'll probably just keep it super basic, yeah. But yeah, it's this thinking about it this way, this is an application that you're creating. So like to answer Leon's question further, this is an application that you're making yourself. So like if you want to put like 1 million polygon assets in here and hope that it's gonna run well, it's not gonna run well. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll probably switch the top chat. I don't really know if there's much you can do about it. I was actually watching a Rococo stream. Oh, by the way, person who's making new accounts, just so you know that YouTube shadow bans are a thing. So if a bunch of accounts from the same IP address, you know, repeatedly gets, you know, hidden or removed, YouTube will label you as a bot. And what'll end up happening is that you're not gonna be able to post comments anywhere without anyone, like, because no one's gonna be able to see it. It's just as a forewarning. So, I mean, you're welcome to dig your own grave. I'm not gonna stop you, but, you know, go ahead. Hi, Prito. Okay, so yeah, I was in the Rococo stream, and I was so surprised with they were getting hit with one of those click on my website for adult entertainment, basically. Bots in their chat, but they were like, it was like the bot name always had like the website, which was like a .xyz website. And it would just always use emotes. Like, it would use like emotes like the blushy face, fist emoji, and then like the sweat emoji, and then it would do like a kissy winky face. And I was like, how is Rococo getting hit with this? Like, how in any way is like, how are they being targeted by these bots, right? Hello, do you use a Rococo Smart Suit Pro 2? Not yet, but I will. If you want to know how I'm doing my motion capture, just check out my latest video. Have I tried mocap for all? I don't see the point, because mocap for all relies on compute. And why would I basically dedicate a computer to compute motion capture when I don't have to? But yeah, mocap for all, it's great if you have a dedicated computer specifically for that. And if you don't believe me, look at Mocaps for All's own website, where they're showing regular people using it in VR chat, and you'll notice like the difference of quality versus from their example to VR chat, and you'll see that it's like really laggy, stuttery, and that's because it's all running. Generally with those people, they're running it all on one computer. What is happening with this? Hello? Yeah, so it's great, it's accessible, it's made by an indie developer. Downside, it's not very practical for some people, because the money that you'd be saving by getting mocap for all would basically be negated by basically needing a secondary computer. So that's basically that, right? But hi, Prito. I could turn on chat delay, but it's not worth it for one like salty 13-year-old who should just be playing Fortnite instead. Oh wait, did Fortnite end? How does that work? Does anyone actually play Fortnite? And like, when they end a season, like, can you just not play anymore? Or does it like start again right away? Like, how does that work? Cause like, I saw that it just ended, and apparently they're transitioning Fortnite to Unreal Engine 5. But like, does that mean people can't play anymore? Like, what is that? New season, new chapter. The island flipped over, but can you play it anymore? Is that like, does it end like the ability to play? Or can like you play right now and, you know, do your thing? You can still play. Ah, okay. That's not as exciting. But then again, like, wouldn't that? I think that wouldn't that like increase the demand because like there's a period of time where you're not like people can't play, or like are they worried that that's gonna like make people think, oh, maybe there's other games? Interesting. Like, I've only played Fortnite once. And I'm like, I don't see the point of this game. maybe I'm too boomer to like to get it, I guess. Like, nothing against the game, nothing against the community. It's just like the game just doesn't seem like it's for me. Just like how Call of Duty games, super popular, just doesn't seem like they're for me. Battle Royale? I did play, what's it called? Some Minecraft Battle Royale. What else did I play? I don't know. Did I play a lot of Battle Royale games? Not really. I think I missed like the hype on that. Even though like it seems like Battle Royale games would like really be my jam. Did I figure out a way to do channel point redeems? Yeah, it's easy. So they're off right now. I don't know, Whiskey's here. But I have figured out okay, so I have done more research into how to get redeems and alerts to work for custom applications like Unreal Engine for YouTube live streams. And let me explain a little bit about how that works. Yeah, we're not on Twitch. We're on YouTube. That's why redeems aren't working. So how okay, so the issue is that the Twitch API is super open, and essentially your mom, your grandma, and your dog can basically get access to the Twitch API and access to live streams like easy peasy, pumpkin squeezy. Whereas with YouTube API, you have access to the YouTube API. However, connecting to a live stream or any of the YouTube services has been is very limited. Like, it's super limited. And the problem with that being super limited is that how they do it is they do it with a quote system. So the quote system is basically Oh, also, this will probably help getting the IP ban going through. Let me do this for a sec. Let's see. What's easy? Is it hate speech? Well, technically they're talking about this other thing, so there we go. Congratulations, you are getting a community report from a YouTube partner. So how basically it works for the YouTube chat API is it relies on a quota system. So you have to apply to have access to the YouTube API as a developer, which is kind of similar on Twitch. Like, you have to apply for a developer, but it's super, super easy. You just like, I'm a developer, check me out. And that's what YouTube does, essentially. Hi, Marcos. Thank you for the $2. Thank you. So, the chat API for YouTube essentially requires you to make a developer account. But if you're an unknown developer, then you get you're put into like this quota system. So any actions that you want to do onto YouTube, whether it's reading YouTube chat, or it's reading supers or donations or subscribers and video analytics, it all has a specific amount of how much it costs in terms of its quota. So that means, let's say if you are allocated, let's say the equivalent of like 1,000 requests per day, then something like a YouTube live chat, like to read something from a YouTube live chat, like a chat command, might cost like 20 points. And then like having a notification, pulling like new subscriber data is also like 20 points. Something like that. What chat am I reading? I'm reading YouTube chat. Well, here's the thing. So the obvious solution would be like, hey, why don't you just make it so that the YouTube live stream, like, you could just read the chat directly, right? That doesn't work. And you want to know why it doesn't work? Every single live stream is its own separate instance. So unlike a Twitch stream, where you can go to someone's Twitch page and you'll always be able to like instantly be there when they're live, on a YouTube live stream, like, it's not like that. So you can go to my homepage and then you're just gonna see my videos and whatever else I'm doing on YouTube. But you're not gonna instantly be able to be connected to my YouTube live stream. Because basically think about a live stream, each live stream is like a YouTube video, but live. So they're all different and treated separately. Am I using ultra low latency? What do you mean? Obviously, maybe. But the thing is, like, the way the YouTube live streams actually work though, is that you have to like make sure that you're watching it live and you're not watching it behind. So like, if your connection is not good, it's gonna automatically buffer you and put you behind. If you can join late and you decide to scroll back and essentially watch the replay, you're still gonna see the live chat happening, but you're not gonna be able to get my response instantly because you're behind and not at this very moment. What do you think about a VTuber, but it's a kid's show? I've actually been approached by some companies for that exactly. For like pretty much for that exactly. Speaking of which, there's supposed to be a company that I'm supposed to talk to. Hold on. I just want to double check. Because I'm supposed to be... I forgot that I was supposed to have a meeting with a company. I just don't remember when. Is it on my Google Calendar? I hope so. Yes, okay, good. Oh, it's on my Google Calendar. All right, I'm fine. But yeah, I've been approached by a few companies. Yeah, Das Little Kitty. Just so you know, based on your comments, it looks like you're like 20 minutes behind. So you gotta refresh. So basically when you get contacted by companies, I've been contacted by a few that have been like wanting to get into the VTuber space for educational purposes. A lot of them have here's the thing, a lot of them tend to have a lot of red flag events. So most notably, I was contacted by a company that's based in Hong Kong, and they were using like a throwaway email. So they have an official email, but they made a separate Gmail account. And I only know this because like when I was a bunch of red flags were triggered, and they were still proceeding anyway, despite me like making the offer more and more ridiculous. Which meant that they were probably just going to like get me to do the stuff that they wanted and then just like ghost and not pay, basically. So what I did was, I'm like, this can't be a legit company. So I looked up the company, contacted the CEO, and I'm like, I think this person's impersonating you and saying they're the CEO, and they're like, yes, that is me. And I'm like, oh, just the company scummy. Okay. Basically. The YouTube, in terms of YouTube chat delay, it's all on your internet connection. So the nice thing about YouTube live streams is that if your internet connection is bad, at least you can watch it somewhat live, but it's gonna buffer you behind. It's not gonna deliver it to you like ASAP. Whereas on a Twitch live stream, like if your internet's bad, basically you're SOL if you with being able to watch a Twitch live stream. But yeah, it seems like, but here's the thing, Mad Haha, is that if they're behind, they're not even see that message. Actually, no, they will see that message. They will see that message. Thank you. Yeah, they'll see that. Cause like, whenever I watch a YouTube live stream, I just watch it from the beginning because I'm not gonna usually participate in chat anyway. I think the only YouTube live stream chat that I participate in is like Rokuko's, whenever I catch it. Or Sapphires, but for the most part, everyone else, like for example, Linus Tech Tips, I don't watch it live. I just scroll to the beginning because I just have it on for background anyway. Is it a fancy title? I just made it because I wasn't sure what to title it. I did want to talk about, but the thing about live stream titles on YouTube is that they don't really make a lot of sense because if you cover a lot of topics, right? So they're just like titles. So one of the things that I did want to talk about for that having it as a title was the YouTube live stream integration and basically the difficulties behind that, but we finished talking about that. Vive fingers? What do you mean Vive fingers? Like using your Vive controllers or Vive? Okay, so Vive controllers are controller inputs, and then Valve Index controllers also give finger input. So to combine that with Magnus would be the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's just like how you would set it up normally. You just put them, smoosh them together. That's your answer. You have to add it in your animation blueprint yourself, which if you see my tutorial, you know, it's pretty simple to do. You're not going to be able to stream, like, let's say, Rococo gloves or Valve Index controllers or Vive controller input into Madness, because that's not what it's meant for. It's just meant for pure motion capture. And if you want finger tracking in Madness to send out to other places, basically they're saying you should buy their gloves, right? Since you have the luxury of being able to stream it into a game engine, basically the world's your oyster for there. You can just do whatever you want. You just gotta do it yourself. So like, you could use virtual motion capture to stream the data in for specifically hand tracking data, or VSeeFace to stream in leap motion data. But why? Why would you do that? Basically, it's like, why run an application that's going to take up like a lot of computer resources to do something that you could just do in engine? And you could say the same thing about Madness, but Madness, it runs super light, and it's specifically designed to give you really, really good motion capture. If you want to do motion capture completely within Unreal Engine, it is totally possible. I think Mega Steakman has a GitHub repository where you can just do it all within engine. Just, it's not as easy, basically. And I think the very small performance hit that you get from Madness is totally worth it. Actually, let me check. Madness, how much do you use? You don't use anything. Yeah. Don't look at the GPU usage. That's wrong. It's bugged for some reason. Yeah. Madness pretty much uses nothing. So it's great, I think. Did I accidentally click on here? No, I didn't. Okay. Where's my mouse? Hello? Oh, there you are. Okay. Hi, Otters Hold Hands. It's difficult to see the detail. Yeah, I'm gonna probably add some more lights into the world. It's just lights can be a little bit expensive, because right now these are not actually, the Christmas decorations aren't lit traditionally. They're lit via lumen emissions. So like you can see everything there. It's just, yeah, it's, maybe if I change the camera angle, maybe. Boop, boop. You can kind of see it a little bit. Maybe from this angle, you can kind of see it. Like you can see this a lot better. Just not this as much. Can you make a light that only lights the wall? You can. Yeah, you can. It's not hard to do. You just add you just change, you basically what you do is on your object, right? So if I want this chair to be lit by a light and nothing else, then what you do is that you add this chair to like channel 1. So everything by default is channel 0. So you add this chair to like channel 1, and then you create a light source, and then you make that light source only broadcast to channel 1, and that's how that works. I'm always in this environment, though. Like, always. You could do something like that. That might be a little bit harder, harder to do. But it's very possible to do that. Otters hold hands. It would be harder. It's easier said than done. Speaking of which, I still need to implement the multi-camera system. I just haven't yet. There's basically a way to send the camera data from Unreal Engine to other computers without relying on like the physical cameras, basically. So it's essentially, think of it more like a traditional camera setup. What you're doing, so right now, how this is working is when I switch cameras, what it's actually doing is just that it's changing what camera is the active camera. Whereas there's a way to like basically stream each camera feed all at the same time to one place. And then you can like switch between them live. And that's something that I want to experiment with because it allows for more stuff to happen, basically. Do I still open my commissions for rigging? They're gonna be opening mid-December. Mid-December, that's when they're gonna be opening. Just if you want to, I'll just preface this with the only place that you're gonna get the notification is on my Twitter. And last time I opened my commissions on Twitter, it closed within a day. So that's my recommendation, is just follow me on Twitter and wait for the notification. There was apparently some people, like, even with different time zones, they're like, oh, I got this notification, and then added it. You could, if you're really like not wanting to wait, you could try doing it yourself. I would recommend actually going to the Blender Guru YouTube channel and learn how to use Blender, and that's a really, really good starting point. Thanks. I might add a fireplace later. I might. Maybe. But for right now, I think my main focus is just going to be changing the lighting a bit. At least in this camera angle, because this camera angle is very, what's it called? Dark. And then in this camera angle, you can't really see any of the decorations. So, I mean, that's also a thing. Well, it's like, it's still there, but obviously it's, I could use this. So this lens is like the equivalent of 85mm lens, which is ideal for portraits, basically. Whereas, like this is an ultra wide, this is an ultra wide, ultra wide. They're all ultra wides. So that's why I'm like, you'll see some, my hand, the size stays the same size, but as it gets closer to the camera, you see like how it distorts, right? So it makes it look longer versus like, look at that, right? And that's just the difference of lenses, basically. Yeah, I could put a fireplace under the vents, like right over there. I could do that. How resource intensive is the background? It's as resource, this is not the answer that you want, but basically it's as resource intensive as you want to make it. And basically the more stuff that you add, the more resource intensive it'll be. And my background is not very resource intensive in terms of like what it could be. But put it this way. If you have, I'm actually going to be switching this to a one PC setup again. Otters hold hands. So if your computer can run VR chat without lagging, you'll be fine. But if your computer struggles to run VR chat in VR, sorry to clarify, in VR chat in VR, not in Oculus Quest, but in like desktop VR mode, if you don't get any lag, that's a good starting point. If you're lagging, you're gonna have a lot of problems. Well, I've added some optimizations to my world that to this setup that allows me to switch back to a single computer setup, freeing up one of the computers right now. I don't know how well it's gonna go though, so we're gonna have like a test stream on Thursday on Twitch to see how well it works, because it might not work well and I might have to switch back to the setup. We'll see. We'll see. But like, let me, hold on. Can I do this? Yeah. You can see the background. Like right now, the holiday decorations are the highest poly, just because they're just temporary and I don't care to optimize them. But like the rest of my background is very low poly. The highest poly thing other than like the holiday decorations is me. And I don't care if I'm high poly, because it, to me, like I can handle it. Yeah. But like I didn't see the point of like adding LODs and everything to the tree, just because like it's only for 1 month basically. So I don't care. And then also when I'm in this camera view, it's not even rendering anyway. So what's the point? Right? What's the point? I could also render it like this. You could see the Christmas tree background a little bit better. Oh, see? Wait, is this a 2.5 hour stream? Hold on. I start at 7. 8, 9 and a half. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm just dumb. I'm dumb. Yeah, Unreal Engine runs really great. It's a lot easier to get Unreal Engine running smoother. It also depends on your preset too, right? So in mine, I'm using the virtual production preset. It actually might not be the best preset. Maybe. But that's the preset that I'm using. It's very easy to do a holographic interface, but like I don't want to clutter the screen too much, because like in my opinion, the best VTuber streams that have like a full setup should be like the same as a regular live streamer, just with like some extra features. Because once you start cluttering the screen with too much like stuff, then it kind of detracts from the main focus of the live stream, which is the person, basically. You ran out of VRAM? Yeah, I'm maxing out my VRAM for the most part. It's using like 7.8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's what this is using. Yeah, I've been on Unreal 5 for the past few months. Basically, for the past 2 months. Before this, I was using Unity. It's not the preset on itself. The preset just enables certain features, right? And that's all it is. So like, if you, in your normal, like whatever one that you end up using, if you start tuning up a bunch of the settings, then you're gonna get the same result. Oh. Yeah, that's very possible. That can be done. It's just so like in my Unity world, I had it so that Twitch chat was like a transparent text plane that was floating behind me. But like in this Unreal Engine, when I have Twitch chat, it's literally just right here. I could very much do that. In Unreal Engine, all you gotta do is add a browser plane and then have that connected to like Streamlabs or Stream Elements, and that's how you do that. Why switch to Unreal? Just because you could do more. Oh, to get like more of, I haven't seen that show that you're talking about, but if you're looking to get like toon shaders into your world, because right now I'm not using a toon shader, I'm just using like the default materials, basically, is how you can do that is you just gotta play with the post-processing node, and that's all you do. Don't be roped in to paying for like those $40 toon shader marketplace assets. It's a trap. Live on Chrome is using that much? Is it? That's really not that much, Axel. Like, compared to Twitch. A Twitch live stream uses a lot. Actually, let me open up a Twitch live stream right now. And we're gonna check it out. So I open up Task Manager. Let me pull up a Twitch page. Just let me mute the site just in case. We're gonna switch to another VTuber that I know. I'm gonna play it back in 1080p. And how is it doing on computer resources? So a Twitch stream at 1080p uses 25 megabytes. Oh, wait, 1.5 megabits of disk usage. It's using 10% of my GPU of a 3060 mobile, and it's using 500 to 600 megabytes of memory and around 10% of my CPU usage. So there's that. So I don't think the problem is more or less YouTube live stream having a memory leak issue, like, because 400 megabytes is, as soon as you said 400 megabytes, I'm just like, that's not a lot. Hey, Thorntail, thanks for becoming a member, thanks. So it sounds like more, it could be, it grows by time, easily 1 gigabyte. That sounds like it's more of a problem on your end. So I would try cleaning up your Chrome install. Because, like, I watch YouTube live streams all the time and I've never had that issue. Yeah, so it sounds like it's something on your end. Yeah. Well, it's not how many viewers. The amount of viewers doesn't matter. So what the problem that Axel Hugh is having is that they're having, while they have a live stream open, that it uses more and more memory over time. But considering that, like, most people aren't having that issue, it's probably something specific to your setup. So what I would recommend doing is next time you see someone live, just go to someone else's house and go on someone else's computer. And then open up YouTube, a YouTube live stream, and see if it does the same thing. And odds are it's probably not going to do the same thing. And you can test this in another way, is just, if you want to test it right now, just test it right now by opening my live stream in, like, Mozilla. So, like, that would probably be the reason. Probably. Maybe. Well, the thing about Live 2D, right, is that it depends on what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So, because the thing about Live 2D is that there's no full body tracking, right? There's no interaction with other objects other than within Live 2D itself. So I've always been on the camp of go 3D, because 3D is the most versatile. Because you can make 3D look like 2D. Very, very easily. Whereas 2D, you can't really make it 3D at all. So my plan is eventually is to make this look like It's really gonna depend on what my new model is gonna look like when I get that in. We'll see. Because like I said, this model that you're seeing right now is a transition model. I've never had a model professionally made, and the models that I make for myself are garbage, basically. Put it this way. The reason why I don't take 3D model commissions is because I don't want to put that much time into making something like that. So I just don't take commissions on it for that reason, because like, one, it's going to take a lot of time, and two, it's so much work to do it. So like, my model right now has so many shortcuts in it that this took like maybe like a week to slap together. And that's like, a week is being generous with the time, because like it was a week of like on and off, like not a week straight. It would be like an hour here, an hour there, kind of like that. What's the best spec for a 3D Unreal Engine model? Having a VR capable computer. Basically. Having a, like, if your computer is not able to do VR, then you're gonna have an issue. It's the, you can't, like, it's, I can't just recommend a computer spec. Like, I can recommend a computer spec, which I have, is it on my live stream? Do I recommend it on my live stream? That's a very good question. In all of my YouTube videos, I always link and recommended computer build. I'm not sure if it's in my live stream description, but it's definitely in my video descriptions, is that you'll see a recommended computer build there. But the thing is, like, what I recommend is like this, the same as a recommended computer build, and not like the minimum requirement computer build. Right? So like when you get a game and it has the recommended and the minimum requirements, I always go shoot for the recommended. Hi, where did I learn all this? Google. And you can learn it by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Basically, that's the main driving force behind my YouTube channel. Is I had a really hard time figuring out a lot of stuff, and I thought it should be easier for other people, because like, why should people have to suffer the same way I suffered, right? Because like, back when I first started, VTubing wasn't a thing. Like, they didn't call it VTuber. And it was only like a thing like when HoloLive came out, basically. But what you'll notice is, like, on Twitch, there's people using avatars and models way before HoloLive was a thing. Duckster, I have a YouTube video on that. Just look up DIY Unreal Engine on my channel. Do you need to learn how to do coding to use Unreal Engine? Having some base level of coding would definitely help, but you can get away with a lot without needing you can get away with a lot without actually needing to know any coding with Unreal Engine, which is kind of nice. In Unity, essentially, if you want to do anything custom, learning C# is pretty essential. But what's nice about Unreal Engine is they have a coding system, but it's their blueprint system. and I find the blueprint system a lot more intuitive to learn. Yeah, blueprints are super nice. Like, I will tell you that if you do see, like, so Unity uses C#, Unreal Engine uses C++. One is not better than the other. But what I will tell you is that if you make two applications that are exactly the same on the surface, but the only difference is one's using blueprints and one's using C++ coding, if the C++ coding is done well, the C++ version is going to be way better in terms of computer resources and efficiency. Okay, so the little kitty in I'm gonna directly address you. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? What are you doing? Oh, hey, Vicky. Basically, put it this way. You don't need to move into Unreal Engine unless there's a feature that you really need in Unreal Engine. Basically. Or if you're finding that the things that you want to do are becoming harder and harder to optimize for, and then that's like, those are the two reasons why you'd probably want to move from Unity to Unreal Engine, and that's it. Because you can get like all of these same effects in Unity. And in some cases, doing things in Unity is easier than doing them in Unreal Engine. So, I mean, it really depends on what you're gonna do. So like, one engine is not necessarily better than the other. It's just the reason why, like, I have my reasons to be in Unreal Engine, basically. Thoughts on Codemiko's model? That it's good? Nux has a 2D model, so it's a 2D model. It's pretty decent when it comes to, like, when you compare it to other 2D models. I have seen better though. Basically, the best 2D models that you can get are, in my opinion, from Spatula or Twin Tails. They basically make the best ones. Yeah, so like, that's the thing for me too, is that I come from VR chat, so I'm super comfortable with Unity. But like I said, depending on your use case, you might run into some roadblocks. And the roadblocks that I was having was efficiency. Efficiency and official support, basically. Because what was happening for me is that a lot of the things that I wanted to do in Unity were possible either through C++ coding or by using community plugins. But the problem with community plugins is that a lot of the times they're not very compatible with each other, or they're not very efficient, and it's almost impossible to optimize for them. Whereas Unreal Engine basically had all those plugins that I wanted as native plugins to Unreal Engine itself. So that's why I switched. Do I have any recommendations for artists for 3D models? Yes. Check out my Twitter, scroll down a bit, and you're gonna see like I made a giant list. Hi, quiet one. No. It's spatula, like how you spelt it, but with one L, and twin tails, take out the T and change it with a 2. And there we go. They exclusively stream on Twitch. So you can find them there. And I'm sorry that my recommendation is not good. It's just there's a bunch of 3D modelers to recommend. The reason why I don't have as many 2D modelers to recommend is just because I'm personally not interested in getting a 2D model. So I've never looked into it, basically. And there's only 2 people that I know well enough that I can just blindly recommend them. Because I've seen the models that they've created. I know who they are. And for those reasons, like with a very small sample size of their work, I can just trust that their work is good because what I've seen from them is amazing. And I just trust them as people. Because, like, I don't want to just, like, for example, if you say, like, when some people have recommended, like, oh, you should recommend this live 2D rigger or character creator, right? If I don't know who they are and they only have like let's say they, even if they have the same amount of like VTuber children, I'm not going to recommend them because I don't know who they are. Whereas like there might be some obvious like live 2D rigger recommendations. Like I can't remember. There's the one that a lot of people recommend, but like I think those are kind of like no-brainers. But like I said, the reason is I'm not in the 2D world, basically. Well, the Gorillas weren't the first one to come up with this concept, right? What's that show called again? The one that Rap God referenced? I don't remember. But basically, like, this is not a new concept. And like you could even bring this back down to like black and white film. It's like having a virtual representation of someone is not a new concept at all. Iron Vertex, that's who it is. Iron Vertex, there you go. That's the name. Iron Vertex is a team, but like, do you know what I mean? Like recommending Iron Vertex is like recommending YouTube as a video platform. It's like, it's like the same as like, hey, what's a good website to watch videos on? And you'd be like, YouTube. It's like recommending Iron Vertex, I feel, is the same way. And because of that popularity, it's almost like good luck getting into Iron Vertex's queue. Whereas like Spats and Twin, like I said, their quality is super amazing. Since they're a single person, basically, their commissions aren't always going to be open, but they'll probably open more frequently. At least I would assume. Hey Axel, I'm glad that you found a solution. Vroid Studio, yes, just download Vroid Studio, it's free. I don't really get people's hesitation to download free applications. Do you know what I mean? Like often I would get questions that can be easily answered by just like, I'm not calling you out specifically, I'm just like, it's reminding me of a common thing that happens in a lot of places, right? So like, for example, like people will be like, what music do you recommend for my YouTube channel? And I'll be like, use Harris Heller's Stream Beats. And they're like, but yeah, but does it sound good though? Like, just download it and listen to it yourself. And then there's like no response. So it's like, just try it. It's free. Do you know what I mean? Like, just try it. It's free. It's free. Here's the thing. VRoid Studio is on Steam. I'm pretty sure. Is it on Steam? I think it's on Steam. So just like, do you know what I mean? Like, is Blender a good 3D modeling program? I'm like, it's free. Just try it. You can get it on Steam. Like, the thing is, like, yes, I personally recommend just downloading it from the Blender website. But like, when somebody hears it's on Steam, it's like instant. It has like instant credibility, right? So like, if it's free and it's on Steam, just try it. It's free. I've had people say no to free very often. Like, so in high school and university, I worked a lot of retail jobs. And like, it's like, for some reason, customers are just trained to say no. It's like, hey, do you want $10 off? Like, you could just use this coupon and I'll just scan it. No. I'm like, but it's $10 off. No. Oh, okay. And then some of them would come back, why did you give me the $10 off? I'm like, because you said no. Well, I want it now. I was like, well, you can't. It was a promotion. Oh my gosh. Or like, when I worked at EB Games, now GameStop, like beyond the wave of creepy questions that would come in. Hey, are you single? Hey, what are you doing after work? And I'm just like, not being around you. So what would sometimes, like, what would very frequently happen is someone would come in, buy a stack of used games, and there was something, I'm not sure if it's still a thing now, but there was like an edge, they called it the edge card, right? And it cost $5 to get the edge card. And all you needed to do was just like, you didn't even have to put your real email or anything. Just like, you just had to provide a email address. So if you said your email address was like poop@poop.com, I would just enter poop@poop.com. And it would give you 10% off used games. So some people would come in. So obviously, if you get like a $50 game that's used, obviously you get the card for free. Or sometimes, very frequently, people would come in and they would buy like a couple $100s worth of used games. They'd be like, hey, do you want this card? You just got to give me any email address and get 10% off. They're like, no. I'm like, but you save money. No. It's like, if you keep talking to me, I'm going to call your manager. And I'm just like, but it's free money. No. I'm just like, okay. It happens so often. I didn't get it. They're like, you're just trying to collect my information. And I'm just like, but I said, just give me any email. Like, I need you to say yes to this or not. I'm not just gonna give it to you. It's like, just give me the money and give me the money off without the card. I'm like, you need to take the card. It's like, what kind of customer service is this? I'm just like, you need to have the card to get the discount. It's like, I thought you said it was free. It's like, it's not, but since you're spending this amount of money with the card, you get 10% off. So on your receipt, you're gonna see that it's gonna cost $5, but at the end of your receipt, you're gonna see that you got 10% off because you have the card. Just give me the discount, I don't want the card. But it's like, you gonna give me the money off or not? And like some of them would just like put all the games down and walk out. I'd be like, well, because like some of them didn't like the idea that the card cost $5, but it saved them 10% off their current purchase, right? And like I just have the feeling like some of them just didn't understand the cost and the like how much 10% actually is. Do you know what I mean? You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to just throw the card out after the use. Because then they're gonna see the $5 charge on their receipt, and they'd be like, why is this $5 charge here? Wait, basically. Even though they're getting 10% off. So like, keep it simple. Imagine they're spending $100. They're paying for the $5 card, but since they're getting 10% off, they're getting $10 off. They're gonna see that $5 charge, and they're gonna be like, why am I getting charged $5? And it's like, because I gave you 10% off. I never agreed to pay for $5. That's basically what happens. People don't. So like literally the only thing that I think is kind of a scam is they call it like game protection, gameplay guarantees, which they still do, because I just went to a GameStop and they still offer it. Someone was buying a Nintendo Switch game and they're like, would you like to pay the $3 gameplay guarantee? So if you don't know what the gameplay guarantee is, it's basically like insurance for your video game that you're purchasing. And the idea is like, if something goes wrong with it within the 1 year, you can bring it back to exchange for a new copy. So like, it was more relevant back in the day. So like the Xbox, the original Xbox 360 didn't have disk stabilization. So if you had your Xbox 360 on the ground and like, let's say someone jumped up and down. So like, let's say your dog like ran into the room, or like you have a younger sibling that's jumping up and down like near your Xbox. If the Xbox shakes at all, it's basically, since it doesn't have disk stabilization, the disk is just gonna shake into the tray while it's spinning, and it's gonna like scratch up the entire disk. So in that case, like what you could do is that if you bought the gameplay guarantee, you could bring that game back in because it's all scratched up, right? And exchange it for a brand new one. And like, that's how that worked. But the problem is that now, right? What does that even mean? Like why would you need a gameplay guarantee on like a Switch game? It's literally a cartridge. Right? So to give you an example of like, so how I sold the gameplay guarantee back in the day, because like this was at the time Nintendo Switch came out. This was, so my sales tactics was just be honest or tell stories that actually happened. So what happened with me is we had this regular customer that would always come in. Hi, Soy. So what happened is we had a regular customer. Also, one of our customers was one of the regulars that came into EB Games at the time was slash maybe is, I'm not sure, I can't remember if the website is still around, but one of the one of the most popular webcomics online. They were one of the co-creators. I was like, wow, this is so cool. But anyways, one of our regulars who would come in like once a week, to drop like a couple $100s on stuff for whatever reason. Because like when something new came out, they just bought it. One day they came back in and they just had a stack of games. And I'm like, as I'm ringing them through, I'm just like, don't you have most of these games already? Because I remember them buying it. And they said, yeah. I'm like, why are you buying them again? And they're like, my little brother visited. So apparently, and then the story was, what happened was, his little brother was over to visit. And while he was preoccupied, his little brother found his game collection and didn't realize that it was his game collection. And proceeded to like put them under his socks and rode them around like he was skating on his video games. And when they would get like all scratched up or like stop working, he would just grab a new game and just continue sliding around on the floor with his game CDs and DVDs. The microphone is plugged in with AirLink? Yeah. And so that's what happened. And he ended up replacing like all of his games. That one transaction was like over $1,000. And I was just like, do you want the gameplay guarantee? And it's like, yes. And so I sold like a lot for the gameplay guarantee. So whenever someone like asks like, hey, do you want the gameplay guarantee? And like, what does that even give me exactly? I would just tell them that exact same story. But the thing is, like, now that story's so irrelevant because, like, how many of you go out to buy physical copies of games now? The only time I know people that buy physical copies of games is, like, for example, if their Nintendo Switch just doesn't have enough storage, right? So, like, you don't want to eat your Switch's storage when you can just get the cartridge, right? Discord does recognize memberships. You just have to have your Discord account linked with your YouTube account. And then it's not instantaneous in terms of its recognition. It for YouTube specifically, it takes a little bit longer because YouTube has a quota system for any API integration. What if your little brother eats your activation key? Your SOL. Your SOL, basically. Because there was a period of, oh, I remember I bought Skyrim. I bought Skyrim for PC in store. I opened it and there was just like a little piece of cardboard that says, here is your game key. And I went, what a waste. Because like at the time, the reason I was buying the physical copy is because I didn't want to download it. I just wanted to have the DVD install from the DVD so that it would save my bandwidth. Because at the time, like bandwidth, internet service providers were not that great, and they would have like 20 gigabyte, 30 gigabyte bandwidth caps. And like I didn't want to spend like 5 gigabytes downloading Skyrim, so I went out and bought a physical copy. And then I opened the physical copy and I'm just like, oh, I see how this is. Oh, is it Hansol? Hansol. Your glasses turn gray when you turn on VSeeFace. You have to add transparency. You have to add transparency, basically. That's how you do it. you have to use VR in Unity. Sorry, in VSeeFace, it has to be the VRM tune shader and have it set to transparent, or use a custom shader and then export it via VSF avatar format, and that's how you do it. Yeah, but I know it's a convention in Korea to say the full name, like Kwan Han So, right? But like in Western culture, we don't say people's last names. Like, even though I know in Korea it's like a big deal. Yeah, it's the Unity package. So if you want to know more about that, what I would recommend is if you go to the VSeeFace website and there's a specific section on VSF avatar, and you'll be able to find more information there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was the thing. Like, what you could actually do to fix your CDs was you could just get some sandpaper. Because like how CDs worked is there's a layer, the top layer where you write, like where you would write stuff with your Sharpie, right? That's where all the information is. Under that is just a layer of plastic. So if you're able to refinish that plastic layer, then you're golden, right? So what I've done once is I had a super scratched up CD that I just found. So I just refinished it by just grabbing sandpaper and then eventually getting it down to like 2000 grit and then polishing it. And that worked. Yeah, VSS format is VSeeFace's own avatar format, correct. Yeah, I hope, let me know if it works. If not, Deets, I think on the VSeeFace website, they link to Deets tutorial video and introducing it. And basically it's like the best one out there. Yeah, buffering machines. I have to be mindful of the time. So my new shtick for YouTube live streams is that when my live stream ends, you know, it goes straight into a premiere. And I'm like, the thing is, like, I don't do that on Twitch, right? So on Twitch I just stream for as long as I want. Because like in my head, I try to only stream for like 2 to 3 hours. It never turns into that. I always end up like forgetting or getting sidetracked or end up talking the entire time. And then sometimes my like Twitch live stream will turn into like an 8-hour stream and be like, oops. Did you see Sakura Rabbit's VTuber in Unity with VFX system? Are you talking about the game developer? Yes, I've seen that. They're using they're using Unity high definition render pipeline, HDRP. And that's what they're using. They're using a lot of custom solutions. And so like you can 100% replicate that in Unity, but it's so much custom work. It's just better, like if you don't want to put as much work into it and you want to have easy access to tools, use Unreal Engine. But yeah, I follow them on Twitch. Twitter. Is there a mass VSF is an avatar package format. So you still use your VRM models, and the only difference is that you can package shaders and scripts together that VSeeFace can read. So it's better to think about it that way. Kind of think about like VRM is like, the raw VRM file is like the cake, right? But like sometimes you want to put icing or decorations on your cake. But the problem is that when you put a VRM, if you put all these extra decorations onto your cake and then you put it into Unity, into VSeeFace, it's not going to be able to read it because it's just going to only read the VRM file and nothing else. The VSF avatar fixes that problem so that you can add all those custom stuff and then bring that into VSeeFace. Have a countdown? I don't think so. I don't think I need that. You downloaded this custom Unity project? Well, like the thing is too is like when you're downloading someone else's work, like it's really different, right? Because you don't know what their use case is, or like their use case could be specific to them. So like for example, like one of the reasons why I don't do model commissions is because I don't want to spend that much time making a model. Basically, to make like most 3D modelers to make VTuber models, they take about a month. Like if they're working hard and fast. Like the fastest people I've seen are like they take a month to do that, and I don't want to dedicate a month to working on a single commission. So like that's why my model has so many shortcuts in it. So like I would not sell a model of this quality to anyone else, but I'm fine using it myself. And like that's the key difference, is that I'm willing to take shortcuts for myself. It's like you never buy a mechanic's car, right? Buy cars that they've worked on, but not their own car, because odds are their own car is a piece of crap. Because like they might be the mentality of like when they work on a customer's car, they'll like tune it up to perfection. But like if their own car, they're like, they just stick a wrench inside. It's like, oh, that fixed it. They'll probably just do that because they know if worse comes to worse, they'll be able to like go back in and fix it. So like when you download someone else's project, it's pretty much the same thing. So like my project right now, if like someone were to get their hands on my Unreal project and they had a computer that was worse than mine, they would probably have a really bad time, like a super bad time. So like, I'm just thinking with my Unity project originally, when I was using Unity and I was having some CPU usage problems, like it was very high on CPU usage, I just went, I could spend time figuring out and optimizing this, or I could just buy a new CPU. New CPU though. And I bought a new CPU. But like, obviously you see in my tutorial, like that's why like I don't cover some of the things that I do on my channel as a tutorial, because like if it's something that I know that is not optimized and I haven't spent the time to try and figure out how to make it better yet, but I'm still using it, odds are I'm using it at a high cost. With the VSeeFace avatar format, you can use any standard 3D shader. So like you can, for example, the most popular shader that most people use is Poyomi shaders. But the thing is, Poyomi shader is only compatible with Unity. It's not for anything else. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of Unreal Engine tutorials. But the problem is that the thing is, like, when Unreal Engine changes their version, it's not as future compatible as Unity. So like, for example, you can get a plugin for Unity that's like 5 years old and just bring it into your modern project and it could work. Whereas like if you find a tutorial that's 5 years old on Unreal Engine and you bring it into Unreal Engine, odds are it's not gonna work. And like, that's the difference. Hi, Mumbles. What's my live stream schedule? Tuesdays, on YouTube, it's every Tuesdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2.5 hours. Then on Twitch, it's Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just know though that my Twitch live streams are a little bit busier than my YouTube live streams. So like, if you want to have more of like a one-on-one-ish conversation, for now, YouTube is the place to be. Are all the things available? Well, I mean, yes, they are all visible when you bring in your model, but like, if you're doing facial rigging, just rig your model for Apple AR Kit, and then you just add in Live Link Face, and it just automatically works, for the most part. Yeah, so, I anticipate once, like, YouTube has more features, for live streaming, I'll probably start streaming more on YouTube. So, hopefully, next YouTube live stream, I'll have integration. So that means when someone, throws bits, sorry, not bits, does a super chat, or becomes a member, it'll make something happen in the world. Because like right now, when someone throws me bits on Twitch, it'll make things happen in the world. When someone like subs on Twitch, it'll make things happen in the world. So I'm gonna try to implement those same things in Unreal Engine, basically. Lowest minimum CPU spec? No, I'm not gonna recommend that. I'll recommend what I think is the best one to get at this moment in time. I would say my recommendation is a 5600X. That is not a minimum recommendation, but that's what I think most, do you know what I mean? Why would I recommend, it's like, yeah, you can get an i3 2100. That'll work for browsing the internet. Like, just, I'm not gonna recommend the minimum. I always recommend like what I think is good. Redo all the animations. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I personally, I know that feel because when I used Unity, I was in Unity HDRP basically when it first came out. I was like one of the first people to start like publicly deving in the high definition render pipeline. And like whenever there was like an alpha build that came out, I would just get it. I would just be like, oh, there's a new HDRP alpha build. Great! And then I would just switch to it. Great! But the thing is, like, things haven't really changed because, like, if you think about it, right? I'm using, now that I'm in Unreal Engine, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, oh, there's Unreal Engine 5 early access. Great! Download! Well, the textures are turning pink because it's not able to load the standard shaders. Because URP and HDRP have their own shader system. That's why it turns pink. So you just have to change it to HDRP shaders. So like, for example, like if you have everything in Poyomi shaders, Poyomi is a standard only shader, so it's not gonna work in URP or HDRP. And that's it. If you want, like, here's the thing. If you are in Unity and you're planning to do exactly what I'm doing, but in Unity, I'm just gonna recommend this shader because I think it's awesome. Use RealTune shader. RealTune shader. They have a version that's compatible with standard URP and HDRP, and it's VR chat compatible. So it's an amazing shader. The developers, super helpful. They release a lot of updates. I can't recommend that shader any more than I am doing right now, which is I'm singing it praises, basically. That's the shader I recommend. I think it's like 20 bucks. Worth it. Yeah, I think it's called RealTune shader. Yeah. There's a bunch of other plugins that I could recommend, but some of them are not really as compatible with each and every iteration, like standard URP, HDRP. So that's why I'll just only recommend RealTune shader. It's so good. Any hints on what it's about? It's an introduction video. That's what it's going to be about. It's going to be introducing the series. Because the video is not meant to be, like, basically how I'm viewing that video is that's going to be a video that people are going to be watching a year from now, not necessarily at this moment in time, basically. Render gray? No. That's not a solution. No. Wait, hold on. One of my trackers is not detecting. You need to have it set as transparent. Transparent. You don't need to get RealTune shader to get transparent glasses. No. You just need to have transparency on the shader. And then from VSF avatar format, it'll bring that in. So if you don't know how to do that, basically what I would recommend is just download Poyomi shaders. Poyomi shaders is free. And just look up how to do Poyomi shader transparent. You'll probably get a VR chat tutorial. And that's how you do it. Basically. Well, I mean, you can't watch it right now because it's premiering in 25 minutes. But like, yeah, that's the point of it, right? It's very much inspired by Blender Guru's donut tutorial and how that's going to be set up. So I'm not expecting the videos to do well now, but I'm viewing it more like a year from now. I'm expecting those videos to do well. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, maybe each of the videos will get 1,000 views when they first come out, but maybe, like, later down the line, they'll eventually hit 10K. Like, that's the hope. Anyway, we'll see. My arms clip a bit, yeah, but not much can be done about that. Basically, without effort. Like, look, my fingers. Like, even Codemiko has clipping. And, like, she has a much better setup than I do. Basically. What inspired me? Two reasons. One, I was getting people mistaking me for being an IRL mute, and I'm not. Two is that not speaking in chat is very limiting, and my personal view is that if you are able to speak, you should speak on a live stream, because you're gonna do nothing but inhibit your own growth and potential. Like, the most important thing to any YouTube video or live stream is the audio, right? If there's no, like, if there's no good, like, for example, you could have a mic, but the audio could be garbage. People aren't gonna watch. Like, you need to have a decent mic or some kind of speaking, right? And the problem is, like, it's like, if you think, oh, you can get over it, there's only one VTuber out there who has been successful at not using a microphone. And remember, for the longest time, they would just have like a speech bubble, but that was too limiting. So then now they're using text to speech. So like, if that doesn't tell you something, that having a voice is important, it's important. So kind of like think about it this way, right? If you don't believe me, like how audio matters a lot, imagine if this was my live stream. Imagine if like my entire live stream was like me just doing this the entire time, and then all you hear is that fan noise. How many of you would stick around? I'm guessing not a lot, right? Not a lot of you. So your microphone is more important than your camera or your setup or anything. My microphone is super, super important. And like, I think that really illustrates why speaking is also important. To VRM, you can add can you add matte caps in VRM? The only way that you can do something like that, Madman, is by adding a matte cap. So you would, probably the only way that you can do that is with the VSF avatar format and using like Poyomi shaders and adding a matte cap. That's it. That's probably it. To get like real-time reflections, no, you can't do that. Yeah, exactly. Audio is such a big deal. There's a good mic on sale. Q2U? No. Don't get the Q2U. Don't get that. No. I know a lot of people recommend it. Don't get it. No. If you want a good microphone for like 50 bucks, it's the Razer Siren Nano. That's what I recommend. But if you want like more extensive recommendations, then check out my YouTube video where it's like, I think it's like 2 videos old now, 3 videos old. It's called VTuber Buyer's Guide, where I list a bunch of stuff. And one of the things I do, how many microphones do I talk about? I talk about quite a few microphones, but I think the most expensive microphone on there is like $150. And even the $150 one is like pretty decent. How about the Wave 3? I recommend that. But the thing is, like, the Wave 3 is not 50 bucks. Shure SM7B? See, here's the thing. I have a Shure SM7B. Currently, the Shure SM7B is on sale. I'm not going to recommend it to other people because most people don't need it. And, like, the difference between a Shure SM7B and a Shure SM58 or a Shure MV7X or let's say a Rode pod mic is so negligible that like I can't recommend it. Like, at all. Hi, Koala Wolf. It's like I said, it's one of those things like, do what I say, not what I do. Yeah. You have better options available to you. Fantasy look? I never really had the fantasy look. I think. Oh, are you talking about like when I played VR chat? When I did VR chat, it was literally, I was one of those scummy people that would like download a model and then like use a game asset, and you're not supposed to do that. Hello. Yes, I did test it, and it made no difference in terms of VRAM usage. No difference. I'm using it right now. Yeah, my premiere notification should have just popped up, but like I said, it's not starting until like 9:30 basically. So if you want to see that YouTube premiere, basically just wait, because we'll go there as soon as I'm done, basically. Premieres at 9:30. See, 4 of you are waiting. Or 4 people are waiting. But yeah, that video series is going to be very, how do you say? I explain everything in there, but it's not going to be as heavily edited, basically. At least that's the goal. It's going to be very much like me in the bottom corner and then showing how to do something, essentially. Why the heck is it so high? I don't know. If I know, I would reduce it. Oh, cable. Oh, there we go. Is it new YouTube meta? I have no idea. I'm not the best person to talk to about YouTube metas. I have no idea. I just do things that I'm like, this sounds like a good idea, and then I do it. There's not many VTubers that do live streaming aside from like Hollow Live. Scarlet, yeah, we're gonna be ending stream in like 14 minutes. But stick around because we're gonna be rating my own video. Basically. It's the Razer Siren Nano should be on my YouTube video. It should be. I think it should be there. Cause I think I talked about it. Yeah, it is there. It should be. Let me check. Vtuber buyer's guide. Mute site. Go in the description. Bum bum. Oh, it's not there. Wait, is it? Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. It's not there, you're right. Let me remedy that quickly. Dum bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm not signed in. The heck? Okay, I am about to add it in because I thought it was there, but apparently it's not there. Unreal background room and Unity background room. What is there a difference between? No, it's the same world that I'm using. I'm using the same world. There, it's now in there. I added it in. There you go. None of them streamed in YouTube because the earnings were lower. Interesting. Okay, so you can attach a camera to like a virtual object and have that like you can make it so that if you're like touch it, it can stick to your hand and then use it like a vlog camera. You can also have a camera attached to a physical object like this, but why? Why would you want that? It's do you know what I mean? I've tried it, and when I realized, I'm like, why am I doing this? Right? Why? Like, you can what you should probably do is just have a follow camera that just like is always moving around based on where you're located. If you want to have like a vlog style camera, kind of think of it like you can have your own like DJI drone with a camera that just like hovers in front of you at all times, and that's better, basically. So like there are times where like when you're doing this kind of stuff, you should be thinking about how it's done in real life and then try to replicate it. But there's other times where you're like, wait a second, I have the benefits of being in a virtual world. I should do it the better way, basically. There's no headphone jack? Well, yeah, it's a $50 microphone. It's like the best sounding $50 microphone you can get. And the thing is that being able to monitor your audio live is kind of a premium feature, and by that, like, just get a Elgato Wave. If you really want a microphone that's super good quality, the only step up in my recommendation, like, is the Elgato Wave, which is like it comes with that awesome software mixer, and yeah, pretty sure you can plug a headphone into it. yeah, basically, just doesn't seem very worth it to have it, because like, I don't know if I ever posted this on YouTube. This might have been something that I posted on like Discord or Twitter or something, where like I had a physical tracker like attached to a monopod, and like I could do vlog style, like just by carrying it around. And then I realized, like, why am I doing this? This is such a pain. There's actually something I've been considering. So currently I'm using a lapel mic. And the downside with the lapel mic, I'll switch to it to show you. Let's go wait for it to connect. It's connected? Okay. Let me switch. So right now I'm using my lapel mic. And the thing is that small mics will not sound as good as a big mic, basically. So what I've actually been considering, so this is wireless, a wireless mic that I'm using right now, and it's using like a little tiny pin mic. It's the best way to put it if you don't know what a lapel mic is. The downside to that is like, basically the bigger the capsule for the microphone, the better the audio quality for the most part. So that's why like, this is, what is this microphone even? It's a Sennheiser ME Mark II. How much is that even? I don't even know. Sennheiser ME 2 Lav. It's how much is it from B&H? It's a $130 lapel mic. So if you put it in that context, it's a $130 lapel mic, and you compare that to a Shure SM58, which is a $100 dynamic mic that's non-wireless, right? It's not, it's like it's one that you hold in your hand. That one sounds leagues better. And so one of the things I've actually been considering is, instead of having this lapel mic, right, is hold an SM58 in my hand when I'm going wireless. But I'm just like, why would I want to do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Because then I'm gonna have to carry a mic around, and that sounds like a pain in the ass. Sorry, I mean, a pain in the... Well, it's because I'm using... Okay, so the wireless mic that I'm using right now is not the wireless mic that I recommend. The wireless mic I recommend is also in my VTuber buyer guide, which is the Rode Wireless Go. I know people recommend the Deity microphone and whatever. Apparently DJI just came out with one. I've only personally used the Rode Wireless Go. Rode is a really well-established audio brand, and that's why I recommend Rode. What I'm using is I'm using the Sennheiser XSW system, because at the time when I was looking for a wireless microphone, they were the only option that wasn't like $1,000 basically. So that's why I have that. But I also, like I said, I also have the Rode Wireless Go. I'm just not using it because I gave it to Sly, even though Sly's not using it. Basically. Poyomi shaders? Why would I do it? Like, I'm not compelled to do a tutorial on Poyomi shaders for two reasons. One, I don't use Poyomi shaders, and two, you can't use Poyomi shaders in Unreal Engine. So like, a lot of my tutorials now in the future are gonna be like more general tutorials on VTubing, or specifically on Unreal Engine stuff, because I'm not in Unity anymore. And that's basically your answer. if you want a tutorial on Poyomi shaders, just look at a VR chat. Just look at VR chat tutorials on. Just type in VR chat Poyomi. You'll find a bunch of tutorials. Did you model from zero? Some of these things on this model I've modeled from zero, and some of these are Frankenstein from assets that I own the rights to. So this base model, I own the rights to it. Like these, some of these things are actually, some of the clothing pieces are, how do you say? They are purchased assets that I have a license to that are from Marvelous Designer that I basically ended up completely doing retopo on it. So to the point where that this jacket is completely different from the retopo version, the non-retopoed version. Basically, I basically made it from scratch, even though I didn't do it from scratch, if that makes sense. The key thing is that you should have the rights to what you're using. So like, I can't remember the name of that VR chat website. VRC mod, I think. VRC mod. Don't download anything from VRC mod to use on stream. There are still a few holdout VR chat streamers / VTubers out there that are still using, what's it called? That are still using like the Haku and like any of the, I can't remember the name, the Miku Miku dance models, MMD models that they don't own the rights to. They need to stop. But I've talked to some of them and they're like, you're paranoid. No one's gonna catch me. How would they know? Fofa, you're just paranoid. You're paranoid. And I'm just like, why risk your entire like content creation career over something that's so easily remedied? Do you know what I mean? Like all you need to do is just go in the booth, buy a $50 base model that gives you the rights to use it for live streaming, and then you're golden. That's all you need to do. But people are like, I don't know. I'm not gonna name names, but if you know, you know. Basically. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Gotta end our stream. We're gonna be redirected to my, thing. Oops. Okay, I got caught up in conversation. See, exactly. Anyways, hopefully, the redirect works. And, I'll see you on Twitch in 2 days. Bye, everyone. I'll see you in the YouTube premiere. Bye-bye. 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 Hold on. Where's my mouse? Mouse? Okay. Bye. See you in the premiere.